How to make $10,000 in 30 days as a wholesaler? Let's dive into it. Now, you need to start by understanding the formula of achieving any goal in general. So, the formula is that Y amount of input equal X amount of output, right? This is the formula for achieving anything, basically. But the problem is that most people, when calculating Y, they go for the best case scenario, which is not ideal. Because here's how you need to calculate it. You need to calculate it as if you're not lucky at all, as if you're not smart at all, as if you don't know how to do anything, and in other words, you aim for the worst case scenario where you need to put 5x to y to get the same x. So if we go back to the formula, we know that like y amount of input will equal x output. Then we change the formula. We change the formula putting the same x output, for example, let's say $10,000, but we change the y and we 5x it, right? This is how you ensure in the worst case scenario, you will still get the $10,000. And if it wasn't the worst case scenario, then you will actually make more than $10,000, right? So you shouldn't always put in mind that, hey, let me aim for the best case scenario, and that's basically what will happen. No, a better model would be, let me aim for the worst case scenario that will still enable me to make $10,000. And hey, if I made more than $10,000, you wouldn't be sad, right? You will make like $20,000. You will be even happier. So that is the frame of thinking that you need to have, especially if you are just starting out. Now, here are the channels that you can use to actually generate $10,000 and get motivated sellers. You can use cold calling, you can use Facebook and Instagram ads, or you can use Google ads, which is PPC, pay per click. Now I will show you how to calculate your worst case scenario to go to $10,000 as a wholesaler. Let's dive into it. Let's go to the first calculator, which is Google ads. Now, for Google ads, we have, let's say we want to make $10,000. And our average assignment is $5,000. Now, here's what you want to calculate. Your conversion rate from good leads to contracts is 10%. So basically, if you get 10 good leads, you're only converting one of them to an actual contract, right? That is very realistic, very achievable, even if you don't have sales skills. If you have sales skills, this might be like 30, 40%. And also, 80% of the contracts that you will have with you will actually get assigned. Now, if you don't know how to assign it or your percentage is lower than this, then think about doing JV with other people that have access to more cash buyers. This will help out increasing this percentage. The cost per lead on Google Ads on average, from what we saw running for us and a lot of other wholesalers, is $60. And you should get 30% of the leads as interested. So if you get 10 people from Google Ads, only 3 of them will actually be interested and motivated to get a cash offer. Again, that's the worst case scenario. So basically you need to assign 2 deals and you need to have 2 to 3 contracts with you. You need to have 25 interested leads, which means that you need to have 83 to 84 leads coming in from Google, spending $5,000 overall to make $10,000. You're still doubling your money. And again, this is the worst case scenario. If you're a bit good at sales, you can actually make 4x these results. Now this is on Google. Let's go to cold calling, for example. Let's say we want to make $10,000 on using cold calling, and we want our average deal assignment is $5,000. And again, we need 10 people to get actually 1 contract, and the same rate we have here from contract into assigned deals. Now, from all of the leads that you will call, only 5% will answer, and from all of the people that will answer, only 5% will be interested, which means that you should make 10,000 dials to actually get 2 deals and make $10,000. Now, you might think that this is way too much. Hey, I'm doing 20 per day. This is impossible to achieve if I'm doing like 20 calls per day, 50 calls per day. Now, here's the secret. If you're doing cold calling, you need to get a power dialer. If you don't have a power dialer, then you're doing it wrong, right? It will be very slow. What the power dialer is, it allows you to call, for example, 10, 20 people at the same time, and it connects you directly with the person that actually picks up the phone. This way you can call way more people really fast and connect with the people that answer the phone, and that's what you need to do. So get a power dialer and then do 10,000 calls, and you should have 2 deals at $5,000 and make $10,000. And again, this is the worst case scenario. You might have it, you might make $10,000 way less, but aim for the worst case scenario. And if you're doing cold calling, get a power dialer. It will make your life way better, right? Now let's do Facebook ads. Let's say you want to again do $10,000 and $5,000 average assignment fee. and same rate, 10% here, 80% here. And the cost per lead on Facebook, the average that we saw from the campaigns we ran for us and other wholesalers is like $40, and 50% of the leads would be interested. Again, worst case scenario, you need to sign 2 deals, you need to have 2 to 3 deals also, and you need to have 25 interested leads, and you need to generate 166 leads, which means that you will spend $6,666. Now, if you're a bit good at sales, let's say we change this one to 30%, and boom, you can see the numbers, how the numbers change. Now you're only spending $2,300 and making $10,000, right? It depends really on your skills. But you can tell if you aim for the worst case scenario, it's still very achievable. Whether you have no capital at all and you start doing cold calling, or if you have some capital, you do Facebook ads, or you have very good capital and you do Google ads, with any channel, it's very achievable to do $10,000 a month as a wholesaler. Now here's where people actually stop trying. If you aim for the best case scenario and you end up coming short on that goal, then you will get demotivated and you'll stop doing this whole thing. But if you aim for the worst case scenario, and then you actually expect the worst case scenario, if you had an average scenario, you will be very happy. You will do stuff way faster, right? You will stay motivated. Now the goal is more realistic because you know you don't have much experience doing this, because changing your expectations will shift your whole perspective and set realistic goals with realistic time frames to achieve $10,000. Now the good thing is, if you do, for example, cold calling, it takes you a month to generate $10,000. Now you can switch to Facebook ads, and now you're not calling a lot of people. Now the motivated sellers are coming to you, or you can switch to Google ads, right? So ask yourself this: would you sacrifice, for example, 1 year, 2 years of cold calling to actually get to a place where you can invest like $20,000 in ads and get sellers to come to you? The answer for most of you would be yes, because it's worth it, right? If you can sacrifice, for example, 1 to 2 years and end up doing $10,000 every single month, that's a trade I believe a lot of people are willing to do. But when you're starting out your own business, a lot of people have unrealistic expectations that it needs lower input to get the actual output out of the business. So make sure you have the correct expectations and you're aiming for the worst case scenario, because if something better happened, that will be great because you will be an overachiever.